Hello everyone, this is a 36th episode of TLV Author Interview Series, and we have a very special guest, Sahil Sharma, the author behind the gripping book project X521. Sahil, we are really honored to have you here. So please
It's
go ahead
really,
and introduce yourself to our audience.
First of all, it's really great to be here. My name is Sahil. Uh, I am a techno banker, and I would say I'm a part-time author. So till now, I have written a trilogy, the Project X521. This The first part of the book was released in by the end of 2022. The second part came in 23, and the final part came just in the month of March 25. I The book is basically I would say a fast-paced kind of narrative, which
Yeah.
has elements of espionage, the mythology, and science fiction.
So, Sahil, how did your journey from computer engineering and techno banking lead you into the world of writing, mythology, and science fiction thriller?
Okay, science fiction. So let me start from the start. So
Yeah.
the first Hollywood movie I saw was Species in 1999, I believe. I don't.
Okay.
I think I was in third or fourth standard. So
Oh my
was the
God.
time of that was the time I got fascinated by this sci-fi thing. And then I realized that this is the kind of thing that fascinates me. And regarding the mythology part, it really intrigues me to dive deep into our mythology, not even only Hindu mythology, all sort of stuff, be it the Greek mythology and everything like that. So I think it's a kind of a personal kind of inclination. Everybody, some if this is innate. I won't say that I got gravitated because I read something or that. It was kind of innate that I always felt that I need to read this, I need to read that. And about the writing part, I
Yeah.
would say maybe because I was really good at daydreaming and imagination. That was
Yeah.
something that I think is the foundation for every writer. I believe that at the core there has to be imagination and some part of daydreaming. So
Yeah.
in 2022, I was in isolation due to this COVID thing, and
Hmm.
then that is where my journey began.
So, yeah, imagination is really very necessary
It
for.
is the key. It is the key.
Yeah, it is the key. It is the key.
Everything else could be improvised, could be learned. If your writing skills are not good, you can improvise on them, you can learn them, you can upgrade them. But imagination is something that is something you cannot work upon.
Exactly. Okay, so your story involves ancient manuscripts, Nazi experiments, cosmic beings, and divine focus. So, what message or idea ties all these threads together for you, or what message did the readers get from your works?
See, to start with, I'd say in the first part of the book,
Hmm.
it is mainly the espionage part and a bit of this ancient mythology. I'll say that it is more of ancient knowledge that is
Hmm.
bundled together. In the second part, it is more of mythology. It is mythology heavy. And the
Yeah.
third part is, I'll say, it has equal components both from the sci-fi and mythology. So the message, see, what I personally believe is if it has to be a fiction book, the message has to be very discreet. The focus
Yeah.
should be on entertainment part. If you keep focusing on the message part, you can write a non-fiction book for free.
Yeah, that's right.
So the story, uh, I'll say it is majorly fiction, but it has some elements of non-fiction or reality. But that I have left for readers to figure out which part it is. So it is basically a scenario. You can say what would happen if threats from our ancient mythology are resurfaced in today's time,
Yeah.
and what is what could be done using science. That science is something. Science is like electricity. To give an example, science is like electricity. You can use it to increase your comfort, to have to ease the life of humans, mankind, and it can also be used to kill someone, or all in negative ways also. So science is a double-edged sword, I'll say. So
Mm.
in the book, the theme explores it, that if we get to abuse science and we get to meddle with the laws of nature, what it can result into.
Which is really, really like I was intrigued with this plot. I was really intrigued, and I'm gonna read your book very soon. Yeah,
Okay, and do share a review about it then.
definitely. I might take some time because I'm a very slow reader, but
You can
I
take
will
all
definitely.
the time.
Yeah. You have used a specific dates and real places like the Bellum Cave and historical events to build your story. So, how important was it for you to ground the fiction in the real world facts?
Told you that it is up to the readers to figure out which one are the real world facts and which one are fiction ones.
The fictional.
So there's some sort of overlapping between these things.
So, you have like overlapped all of this.
Yes, there is a lot of overlapping. Many of the events there are actually reported ones, which are real life incidents, and some are the fiction ones. See,
Okay.
honestly speaking, when I wrote this book, so
Yeah.
it was up to me that there are two kind of books, I believe. The one in which we keep the focus on the character development, and in
Yeah.
some the focus is on the plot and the pacing of the plot. So in my case, I have focused on the plot and the pacing of the plot. It is a kind of very fast-paced book. You might
Yeah.
not find the character development in depth, but every chapter at its end will leave you on a hook. So once you grab the book, you will be eager that what happens next, what happens next.
So, on cliffhangers.
Mm, kind of,
Okay.
kind of.
So we have a question from the audience. In Germany's story part, is there any chance can we bring Hitler back?
The trilogy has ended, so
Yeah.
I doubt we can bring the Hitler back now.
Okay. So you got your answer, Harsh. Okay. Moving ahead. In book 2, there's a
So,
fascinating idea.
but I'll keep this idea in my mind, in some future book or series. I'll definitely, if it permits me, I'll try to get the Hitler back.
Okay. We'll be waiting for your next book then.
Okay.
Okay. In book 2, there's this fascinating idea you have given of the creation turning against its creator. So,
Yes.
how does it, like, what are your thoughts on if this is gonna happen with us, with advanced technology and developing AI?
See,
Can it happen?
exactly, this could happen. Actually, when we talk about artificial intelligence, we broadly categorize it into three parts. Okay. So the first one we call it is artificial narrow intelligence. That is the kind of intelligence that is used to do a specific subset of tasks very good. They can do it better than humans. Like we can say the chess games in our desktops. That is an example of this artificial narrow intelligence. Then comes, we call it the human level intelligence or artificial general intelligence. That it is a stage at which artificial intelligence will reach a point when it will be at par with human intelligence. In computer science, we call that when the AI will be able to pass the Turing test. It is a kind of test. And then we call then comes the artificial super intelligence. Then what if this AI surpasses our intelligence level, and then
Yeah.
the growth, then the graph, it will be exponentially growing. So we are at a stage that we cannot imagine what it will be. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you an example. For example, we create an AI, and
Okay.
we give the primary instruction or motive to it is to save the planet or the universe. Okay, so it is a
Yeah.
very noble gesture we give it. But what if it finds out that humans are the primary threat to planet Earth?
Oh, it will
So
finish the human space.
it will be following its primary motive or instruction, but
Yeah.
it might go against us. And the second thing is that can AI develop sentience or emotions? That is something that is very debatable. That we
Yeah.
can give it all the logics and everything and the processing power and everything, but can at some part in some time in future, can it be possible that it gets this emotional intelligence? So that is something we have to see in future.
It feels
But I hope,
like, yeah.
but I really hope that it we do not turn into something like the Judgment Day from Terminator.
Please. That is so scary to even imagine.
Exactly.
Okay. The trilogy revolves around mysterious Project X521. So, without spoiling too much, please tell us what this Project X521 is. Like,
See,
what is this all
mm,
about?
the Project X521. So I'll just it might be look like a little bit of spoiler, but I'll have to tell something about it.
Yeah.
So the book revolves around a secret experiment that is happening in Pakistan. So this experiment is uh, basically to develop some kind of superhuman soldiers, super soldiers that single-handedly can take on the battalions of normal or infantries or armies that they can take down.
Yeah.
So this experiment is basically rooted somewhere. It has its roots in the Nazi era during the World War II. The Holocaust and all the experiments that the Germans, the Nazis were doing, it has its roots there. And
Yeah.
then in how India responds to it. The Indian response lies on in our mythology. That is mythology is you can say it is more like of ancient sciences that in our religious or the Vedas or scriptures, the science or whatever is hidden there.
Yeah.
So exploring it to counter this modern day threat. But as we move ahead in the trilogy, in the second and third part, we realize that even the Pakistani threat is not modern day and it goes way beyond even the World War II.
Definitely. I'm like, it feels a book about war, but something that didn't actually happen. It's all
I'll say
a fiction.
it has everything in it. If you want
Yeah.
it to be military fiction, it is a military fiction. It is a genetic science fiction. It is a mythology book. It is a thriller. It has quite good suspense elements in it. Uh, I'll say I put everything in it I could imagine of.
It is a whole pack.
It is a whole pack.
Great. So, you have completed your trilogy. So, how do
Yes,
you feel about your writing journey? Completing a trilogy is not a small feat. So,
exactly.
what differences do you see in yourself as a person and as a writer from when you were writing your first book to the moment you have like completed your trilogy?
See, I'll have to make an honest confession here. When I wrote the first book, it was meant to be a
Yeah.
standalone book. Okay, but
Okay.
I got so many requests from the readers that
Yeah.
you cannot leave it here. It has to be the you cannot leave this book on this cliffhanger. So
No. Yeah.
the second part and the third part I had planned them, but as different book, as a different series.
Yeah.
But then somehow I merged them together, and then
Okay.
the concept of trilogy came. So when I wrote the first book, I had to, it was very difficult. I had the scenes in my mind. I had to put them on paper. Uh, for example, I had a scene which I could imagine in 5 minutes, but I had to expand it to say 3 or 4 chapters. So then you have to get into the nitty and gritties of what he said, what he that, each dialogue. You have to make you have to make it. You have to. I'll say, when a reader is reading your book,
Yeah.
he or she should not have to put much effort in imagining things. The imagination should be lucid for them, that they have read the lines and they are able to imagine, okay, this is happening, that is happening. That was my primary focus.
Okay, so were you ever
So
not afraid of like what if readers don't understand the concept of EOP?
see, that is something I really never thought about. I just, to me it was just, I had to like the book. If I was reading this book, if I was imagining this as a cinema, it has to be good. So if I get to cater only a small segment of readers, it would be fine for me. But I could not compromise on that to cater a large number of readers. I
Yeah.
should write something that I don't feel like writing myself, or I don't feel like it is good, or something like that. So this might be the case that it might not appeal to a large number of readers who are not into this sci-fi and mythology thing. But those who are into sci-fi and mythology, I kind of believe that they will love it.
Okay. If you yourself as a writer like your book, loved your book, so definitely readers would like it too. That's for sure. Okay,
Hopefully,
as a author author of this gripping trilogy, why do you think would readers choose your book? If you had a chance to convince readers to pick up your book, how would you
okay.
do it?
I'll say that if you want, if you have seen movies like Predator, Mission Impossible, and
Yeah,
Hanuman, and you want to see a collective combo of these movies, you can go and pick my book.
definitely. That's the perfect
Nothing else,
example.
nothing else I have to say about it.
Even the covers of your books gives that kind of vibes of movies like Mission Impossible, Hanuman, and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives that vibes. Okay. Looking ahead, so are you planning to explore new genres, or do you feel this blend of mythology, science fiction, and thriller is your creative home?
See, regarding future books, it's not like all the books will be a combination of all these genres, but I'll stick to these genres. I believe for the next few years at least. Maybe the horror, the
Yeah,
sci-fi, or just mythology one. They can be standalone books or the series which stick strictly to one genre and are not a crossover of different genres. But these 3 genres, I believe, I'll be sticking to this horror, sci-fi, and mythology one, and
that's a really good combination.
maybe also thriller espionage.
That's a really
Nothing else I'm planning.
good combination, I would say.
Thank you.
We have a question here. What's your favorite genre and give some suggestions?
Okay, my favorite genre and some suggestions. So I'll say sci-fi. In sci-fi, I'll say Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. It really got me intrigued, and it was I really, I couldn't put that book down once I started to read it. Then in horror, I'll say Pet Cemetery by Stephen King. I really liked it. It is also a very good one. And um, regarding, if you want to read about this um, espionage kind of thriller, then look nowhere else than Dan Brown's.
I hope you all noted it down. So these are some really good recommendations
But
you
but
could.
I have one more recommendation. If you are into mythology,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you want to read a book that is in the gray area between mythology, fiction and non-fiction, then go pick this book called The Immortal Talks.
The Immortal
It
Talks.
The Immortal Talks. It is by a
Oh,
writer called Shunya, and no one knows who Shunya is. and
Okay,
it is one of the best books I've ever read.
that's a big statement. The best book you have read?
Yes, because it makes you think. The book covers all the aspects about rebirth, reincarnation, the concept of karma, the soul. Everything is in it, and the language and how lucidly it is explained. That is, I'll say, whoever Shunya is, I'm a great fan of him.
Is it some anonymous kind of writer?
Yes. Actually, the concept of the book is that in southern part of India, there is a tribe who worship Lord
Yeah.
Hanuman, and the Lord Hanuman comes and visit him every, I think, 50 or 80 years or something like that. And then he himself, in his own words, reveals to them the secrets of the universe. And this guy Shunya somehow happened to be a part of that tribe, and he heard it himself from the Hanuman, Lord Hanuman, that what the secrets of this universe are. So the book is labeled as a fiction, but as I read it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like fiction. It actually feels like it is a kind of non-fiction book. So when you're gonna read it, I think you will feel the same.
I'm putting it in my TBR list.
You definitely should.
Okay. So there was this a post in your feed that where you asked the readers this question: if you could sit with one mythological character for a night, who would it be and why? So I'm asking this question to you. So who would
Okay.
that?
So in my case, I believe that would be Krishna, and the reason it would be that Lord Krishna intrigues me the most. He's the most mischievous one.
Yeah.
He can, to him, everything. Everything is legit. He can do everything, and he can explain you that why that thing is legit. He can cheat
Yeah.
and also make it legit.
Definitely, that's so true.
So I just want to. So sometimes I actually wonder that whether this to do some the righteousness and to do to wrong someone is basically it is not some universal truth or there's no universal definition of it. It basically depends upon circumstances, and with every circumstance the definition of these things change, and you cannot and you can and someone if anyone has explained it uh, in a much clearer or simpler way, it is Lord Krishna himself.
Krishna. I like your answer. I didn't imagine it to be this name, but yeah, that's good. Okay,
So
so
what you thought it would be?
I thought it would be a character from a book or something.
Mythological character, it has to be from the mythology, na?
No, I mean, uh, okay, let me. Okay, so you have been with us in TLB since the starting months, since the starting phase of TLB. So, how has your experience been with us? What are your thoughts?
It has been really good. I have joined your WhatsApp on this WhatsApp group, especially I have get to meet some amazing people, learned amazing things from them, and it is a really good platform to learn, collaborate with new people, authors, readers, and it is just a great initiative, I believe. And I hope that in future it is going to grow much big.
Touch wood. Okay. I hope it grows into a big thing because we have started from nothing to finally it is something in the literal.
The one thing I like to point out that in India,
Yeah.
the culture of reading self-published author is still very. It is not that popular.
Yeah.
But the TLB initiative, it is really good that all the indie authors can come together and they can learn from each other a lot of things. That honestly, there are a lot of things I didn't knew when I joined the TLB community. But it is a kind of knowledge hub for authors. The authors channel itself, the group authors group, and when you connect with readers, that is a one-to-one interaction you rarely get anywhere else.
Definitely. And about self-publishing, I guess many people don't know how to do it.
Yes.
Self-publishing. Yeah.
Even when
We
I
are providing.
e-
Yeah.
even when I did that, I had to, go through a lot of stuff, Google each and everything, and then it was a very tedious task. But
Yeah.
now I think with TLB, you guys are giving an SOP for self-publishing.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was it for today. It was a really interactive session with you. And thank you so much for joining us.
Same here. It was really nice talking to you.
Okay. To the readers and audience who have joined us for this interview, thank you so much all for staying tuned. And that was it. I hope you all go and pick this book because this is a really good blend of mythology, science fiction, thriller, and just go and read this book. Happy reading to all of you. And yeah, thank you so much.